Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. Well, it looks like Naughty Dog and PlayStation have another flop on their hands, boys and girls. Obviously, PlayStation has earned the ire of a lot of its fans out there, whether it be the PlayStation Network requirements for off-platform games or just a lot of the other kind of nonsense that they've been part of and financed over the last few years that have turned into disastrous dumpster fire for them. Well, boys and girls, fans are making their voices heard, and they are absolutely despising the new Naughty Dog Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, because holy cow, it is not looking good in any way, shape, or form. You saw a lot of the backlash over the weekend just from the first glimpses of the trailer with another one of those nondescript, any kind of gender conforming, kind of indescript main leads out there with a shaved head that apparently they're trying to convince us is female. And honestly, boys and girls, some of the edits and some of the much better versions of that I've seen out there on social media obviously lead credence to what the entire audience out there is feeling. And obviously, after the disastrous dumpster fire that Naughty Dog had with The Last of Us 2, and of course that game lost them so much money as well, boys and girls. And then of course, well, The Last of Us out there on the HBO series out there, well, you know, that got kind of some mixed reviews out there. For the most part, people liked it, but of course we haven't got to The Last of Us 2 yet. Now have me, so we'll see how all of that handles. But needless to say, boys and girls, fans are making their voices heard, and the ratio on PlayStation and Naughty Dog's YouTube accounts out there is just the chef's kiss on top of the entire thing, boys and girls. And that's exactly what we've got over here. No article, nothing to talk about, nobody else's words to use today, boys and girls. The ratios speak for themselves, because as you can see from the Naughty Dog account over here first, the Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet announcement from Naughty Dog has gotten 58,000 upvotes. Not bad, except for the fact you're looking at almost 1.1 million views, and on top of that, 135,000 downvotes, and it only gets worse on the PlayStation trailer as well. And of course, with this beautiful and stunning and brave main protagonist out there, why wouldn't fans just be absolutely gnawing at their bit trying to get at this thing, boys and girls? So we're going to check out these ratios. We're going to look into some of the comments of what the fans have had to say as well. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Let us know what you think about all this in the comments section down below. Are you actually cautiously optimistic about this game? Do some aspects of it seem like they actually might be appealing to you? Or do you believe, like the majority of the gaming population out there, with the exception of the shills, that this is going to turn into the next disastrous dumpster fire for PlayStation and Naughty Dog and cost them hundreds of millions of dollars? Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below. And if you'd like to support the channel, please check the links in the description as well. So normally I'd introduce you with like the article and the title and all of this kind of stuff, but from YouTube, boys and girls, and the Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet trailer, and Naughty Dog, we have 58,000, 135,000 downvotes. And oh, look at that. We can't talk about the comments on the Naughty Dog trailer, because even though they've been ratioed into oblivion, they're running scared like a bunch of cowards, boys and girls. They have completely and totally turned off their comment section. I wonder, oh, look at that. Oh, surprisingly enough, they've left it over there on the Amazon store to you. But of course, all of the backlash, this should come as no surprise, concerning the fact that Naughty Dog 2 was literally trying to copyright claim and copyright strike and take down and eliminate channels that spoke out against their Last of Us 2 disastrous dumpster fire that they had with that video game that cost them hundreds of millions of dollars. And Ben, you weren't even gonna get into what the quote-unquote remaster that they had all kinds of buggy and broken issues from that with that one right from the very beginning. And now, of course, Naughty Dog, just like the cowards they are running and hiding from any kind of criticism that they possibly can. But fortunately enough for boys and girls, PlayStation's a big old boys out there that they can handle the comment section and don't take it too personally. Obviously, everybody over at Naughty Dog are a bunch of just a whine, crying, woke little peasants. And guess what? The crybabies cry some more, because you can't hide that ratio. YouTube hasn't quite killed that plugin just yet. But over on the PlayStation account, you can see here an 83,000 upvotes with 1.7 million views. What is that? Over 1 million, almost 8.8 million views more, 0.6 million views more to 191,000 downvotes. Almost 60,000 downvotes higher on the PlayStation trailer. And of course, this final lovely little scene that you've seen with this beautiful, wonderful protagonist out there that isn't just, they're just such a joy. Can't you just see yourself in this character? Don't you just feel so represented? Is there somebody you just want to jump out there and play? Yeah, no, me neither. And I wonder what the fans are thinking about here. Well, here we go right here. I feel like Will Smith will slap me for making fun of her. Oh, yes, and that's not the first Jada Pinkett Smith joke I've heard out there from the comment section of my chat as well when I'm recording this live Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Well, boys and girls, yes, that's not the first time I've heard that, and I'd say it's pretty accurate. Get my Intergalactic co-star's name out of your motherfucking mouth. Oh! Now, of course, this one's always a classic out there. The most surprising thing about this trailer is that Sony left the comments on. They sell hair as a separate DLC. From the studio, they got rid of all the people who originally made those games you loved as a kid and that will still take credit for. That's right. There you go. Brought you Crash Bandicoot, Jak and Daxter, and Uncharted. Nice. How many of those people still work there? None of them. They've all been ran off, unless it's maybe like the coffee boy or the janitor. They're all gone. The trailer is 2 hours long. EW is need a remaster. There's no way. No, it's only 4 minutes and 33 seconds long. Still, that's a 5-minute trailer. That's an awful long trailer. The game is going to make this game is going to make a Concordillion dollars. Oh, yes, boys and girls. And if you don't remember Concord, and I don't know why you should, that was the biggest gaming disaster, dumpster fire in history, where Sony PlayStation decided to shut that thing down in literally 2 weeks since launch, boys and girls. Yeah, it was bad. Studios should be able to allow to use from the people who brought you a tagline if 99% of the people who made those games don't work there anymore. Sony, get your grip together. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? Can I play as the character from the background anime instead? There you go. You can really tell this started production in 2020. Oh, yes, and you know they've spent hundreds of millions of dollars. I guarantee you at some point there's going to be some rumor come out about somebody from Sweet Baby Inc. or one of their adjacent little activist corporations out there, those activist little cults out there, they're going to end up turning out to be part of this as well. Otherwise, maybe Naughty Dog was some of the first places to do this. But we know at the end of the day, GLAAD is really running the show for a lot of this kind of stuff. Welcome to the B4 movement, soldier. Oh, yes, all of the crazy little wokies who cried about Trump winning. They were like, oh, I'm going to shave my head. Trust me, nobody was trying to have sex with you to begin with, cow. That's the reason why none of you have any children. That's why you're just a bunch of mean old cat ladies that just can't stand yourself anymore. It's absolutely ridiculous. In order to keep the game at 60 frames per second on PS5 Pro, they ditched the main character's hair. Yes! Yes, from the same studio that bought you, but not the same people. That dog isn't naughty anymore. There you go. Kotaku and IGN already gave it a 10 out of 10. Oh, I guarantee that. At the worst, IGN will give it a 7 out of 10. The main character looks like she belongs in Concord. Sony, you forgot to disable the comments before the remaster. From the studio, they got rid of all the developers that made your favorite childhood games. The modern audience is around 600 they-them. Budget for this game will be over $250 million. Each copy of the game must sell for $416,000 to make a profit. And man, basic math, what more could you ask to finish with? Because that is an absolute fact. We have seen this happen time and time again. We saw the player count numbers for things like Concord, Star Wars Outlaws, Dustborn, and every other video game that has decided to go down this path and go down full-blown DEI, diversity, inclusion, and equity nonsense, and we know where that leads. The old saying, go woke, go broke, exists, and that's exactly what we're going to get right here. Diversity, inclusion, and equity should be the letters on their headstones, because it leads to one thing and one thing only, your game dying, and that is exactly what's going to happen. I guarantee you, Sony has spent upwards of $300 million on this game, because that is a standard for a quote-unquote AAA game where they're literally getting their asses creamed on a regular basis by AA and indie games all the time. Like literally, look at the success of Space Marine 2. Look at the success of Helldivers. Look at the success of even Power World. All of these things from either indie or AA studios or lower, and they are absolutely smashing the AAA studios because this is what they want. They have been infected by the diversity, inclusion, and equity cult time and time again. They have gone and completely and totally convinced any kind of investors and anybody out there that might have had any common sense that this was going to be the new hot thing, and it has blown up time and time again in their faces. And it is going to be years for us dealing with these games because of how long these games take to go into development and how long they take to produce. And I guarantee you, just like we have seen on so many of these other games, when they concentrate on ticking their favorite checkboxes and going, well, we're not going to make somebody pretty. Well, we're going to own those chuds. We're not making something for your male gaze. We have seen when they concentrate on all of that, you end up majority of the time with a broken and buggy mess, just like Star Wars Outlaws. And now we find ourselves here. I honestly don't think after The Last of Us 2, this should surprise anybody coming out of Naughty Dog. And considering the reputation Sony has with the gaming world overall, well, of course, we knew this thing was going to get absolutely ratioed from the oblivion. And the fact that Naughty Dog are nothing more than a bunch of sick little pussy-ass cowards and decide to literally turn off their comment section because it's gonna, words on the internet are gonna hurt their fifis. Oh my God, words are weapons and they hurt. Well, you've just shown once again that the only reason you can't hold up to any kind of scrutiny is because you know your ideas don't sell. It's not because people are out there insulting you. It's because if we go down in there, we can prove once again, not only with your ratio, that the majority of people out there are still common sense and they want no part of your woke cult nonsense. This game will be a disastrous dumpster fire and it will only get worse from here. I cannot wait to report on you the hundreds of millions of dollars that Sony and Naughty Dog lose on this game. And as we've seen from the video game industry as of late, what do you want to bet? Naughty Dog is going to face massive layoffs as soon as that happens. And after all, boys and girls, it couldn't have happened to a bunch of nicer, cowardly assholes, now could it? Thanks for watching.